Good day, good day, good day. Good day, everybody. Good day, Pastor Al. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing well on this Monday morning. I hope everyone had a good weekend. It was a full weekend for me. And I think I say that for just about every weekend. It's a full weekend because it is, because it is. But as you can see, I am feeling so much better. And I'm going to share about that. I'm feeling so much better. And so let's just start. Welcome to SIP with Rev Melissa. I am Rev Melissa, and SIP is Spirit in Practice. So let me introduce myself because I haven't done that in a while. So I'm Rev Melissa. I'm a ordained interfaith minister. I am a religious science practitioner. I am a licensed certified spiritual life coach. And I am the spiritual director, senior minister at Rockland Centers for Spiritual Living in New York. So, all of that, y'all, is my ministry of joy, where I support people in living life in joy and to connect to their yes. So, if you need support in your life, if you are on the edge of stepping into something and you need some support around that, you need to really dive into your divine purpose, reach out to me. You need to work on forgiveness, is what I talked about yesterday at service. Reach out. You don't have to do it alone. I am here to support you. So you can contact me on my website, revmelissa.com. You can send me a message there and I will get back to you and we can set up some time to talk. So good day, everybody. I see you, Wayne, Margaretta, Gladys, Mommy, Tim. I hope you are all doing well. And so you'll know it's Monday, and you know what Monday means. Monday means a new series. But this Monday, it doesn't mean a new series because a new series hasn't solidified. I didn't get a download for a new series. And it happens sometimes, y'all. And so that just means to me that there must be something else for me to share. And there are two things that I wanted to talk about today. And so we're just going to call this Monday, Monday Musing. We're just musing today. Yeah, we're just going to muse together. So I want to muse about two things. One is a personal thing, and the other is a public thing that happened, right? And I think you already know probably what I'm talking about. So, the personal thing that I want to share happened to me yesterday. And so you know that, or you may not know, that I practice transcendental meditation. Now, I mentioned it a couple of times here on SIP. And I just started practicing TM the beginning of the year because one of my qualities for 2022 that I'm committed to is curiosity. And so I decided the things that I have been curious about, I'm going to do it. And TM was one of those things that I've been curious about for at least 20 years. And I have signed up for courses and didn't do it and all the things, right? And so the beginning of the year, January 3rd to be exact, I took my first course. And since that time, I have been practicing TM, which means I meditate twice a day for 20 minutes, focusing or favoring, I should say, my mantra, right? And it's been extraordinary for me. I feel like I have turned into one of those TM people that's like, oh my God, it's life changing, right? I feel like that a lot of the time. So you'll also know that I was not feeling well most of last week and started to take a turn on Saturday. I started to feel a little bit better on Saturday, much better yesterday. And did Living Life in Joy, which was a live show yesterday, and then had service at Rockland, right? And that was a lot of energy to extend, right? And so after service, I was exhausted. I was exhausted, right? So I said, I need to go lay myself down. So I did. And this is one of the reasons why I'm sitting down, right? And I sat down on Friday to do Living Life in Joy, is because I'm still easing myself out of it, which is not, that is not my mode of operation. I don't operate that way, right? As soon as I start feeling better, I'm all in 199% all over again, right? And this time I said, you know what? Let's do it differently this time. Let's just ease back into it, right? So I'm still sitting down because I don't extend as much energy as when I'm standing up. Okay, I'm talking about this way too much. So let me tell you what happened. So I did my morning TM, and then I did an evening TM at 6 o'clock. And Bob Roth, who's the CEO of the David Lynch Foundation, which is an organization that promotes and supports and funds the 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 spread of TM around the world, right? He is the CEO. And he gives these like little mini talks before we do our TM practice. And I enjoy them because I always learn something new. It's always fascinating. And he loves to talk about the genius of nature, right? But he could also, and included in that is everything. So, like the other day, he was talking about the snapping turtle. Another day, he was talking about bats. Then he'll talk about, something related to your brain, So yesterday evening, he was talking about our parasympathetic nervous system, and how important it is to have a healthy one because it has to do with rest and digestion. And one of the components that is stimulated by our parasympathetic nervous system is our saliva. Our saliva, right? Who knew? Who knew, right? So I go in to do my practice. He does that, talk about that. And then I start my practice, which is, to favor the mantra and all that wonderful stuff. So I would say maybe a minute in, I start to feel excruciating pain in my throat. So part of not feeling well was I had a sore throat, I had a head cold, I was very, very weak and very fatigued and very, very tired. And my throat started hurting. And I'm telling you, the pain was so excruciating that I was almost in tears. It hurt so much. And for less than a second, I thought, okay, let me stop TM and see what is going on here, right? And then a split second, not even that, it was like, no, just stay here. Just stay here. And I was like, okay. So the pain got worse and worse and worse. And I could feel my throat just closing up. It was as if something was physically inside my throat, like tearing it apart. And then the pain shot up to my ears. And it was like this noise in my ears, like in my ears, right? And it was painful. It was worse than when you fly in the air, your ears pop. It was worse than that. And again, I was like, okay, I need to see what's going on. And then again, I was like, no, just stay here, right? And so I did, and I did my best to favor my mantra. I'm feeling this excruciating pain, and then all of a sudden, it just started to subside. Just kind of just really, really, it felt like a really long time, but it couldn't have been because the meditations are only 20 minutes. But it felt like hours. But it slowly, slowly, slowly start to disappear. to subside, just to kind of like ease away. And I realized that I had a lot of saliva in my mouth, right? And so immediately, it's like the end of the practice because Bob Roth comes back on at the end of the 20 minutes, and he says, "All right, let's gently come out," right? And that's what I started to do. The pain was gone. I had all the saliva in my mouth, and I just like swallowed, and I felt nothing, no pain, nothing. I felt good. I felt like energized. I felt the best that I ever felt, right? And I was so excited. I was so excited by this. So Bob, closed out the meditation. I sat there for a minute and I was just grateful. And, I did my gratitudes about feeling better. And then I think I sent a message to Sekou, and I was just sharing with him a voice message about what happened. And then after that, I came downstairs and I was just so excited. I told Marco, and he just entertains me. He said, "That's wonderful, honey." And then I asked Aria if she wanted to hear about what happened, and she was like, "No." So then I went upstairs and decided I was going to send Bob Roth an email to share my experience. And so that's what I did. And then the rest of the evening just unfolded the way that it did. But I feel so much better. So I believe that a healing took place in that experience. I believe it 100%. 100%. The most pain in my throat I ever felt in my life seemed like forever. Clearly, it wasn't. And then I felt better. So there's something there, y'all. There is something there for sure. There's something there for sure. So if I had any doubts about TM, I don't anymore, and I didn't before. It works for me. So it's just so delicious. So I'm doing what we do in TM, gently coming out of it, right? So resting, sitting down during sip, just gently come out, gently, right? And that's something that I need to practice for myself and on the physical realm. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Simone. So that happened, right? So that's my first thing I want to share. The second thing was more public, right? A public event that happened yesterday. And if you haven't heard about it, I understand. Like, you might not be tuned into, watching this stuff. So the only reason why I know, because I was watching. So what I'm talking about the Oscars, right? So the girls wanted to watch the Oscars last night, and I was doing Aria's hair. I was retwisting her hair, and I said, okay, we could watch the Oscars while I do your hair. And we watch all the fashions. That's what we really love. We want to see what everybody's wearing. So we watch all the fashions with the pre-show, and Oscars come on. And it's nice. It's all like, it's Black excellence going on. And Will Packer, produced the show, which is amazing. The first time they had Will Packer do that. And it's all the things, right? All the things. It's like an increase in representation, all the things that are usually the things that people complain about with the Oscars. So then the thing happened, and I don't want to really talk that much about it. What I want to share is how everything is for us. How everything is for us. So what happened, if you don't know? Yes, Tim, like shout out, right? Shout out to Will Packer and the production team. Yeah, shout out to them. And if you don't know who Will Packer is, Google him, right? He does a lot of work with Kevin Hart. Anyway, what happened was Chris Rock was presenting an award for, I think, documentary. and he made a joke about Jada Smith, and Jada was upset about the joke. Will Smith got up, walked up to the stage, and slapped Chris Rock in the face. And then came back, sat down, and then cussed him out on live television. And in the US, they you didn't hear any of what he said. You know, they blocked all the sound. But all the other countries, they played it, and you could see it. You know, Google it, it's all there, right? And then the next thing that happens, the next award after that is, um, I think it was the next award, Best Actor, and Will Smith wins. So now he has to go back up on the stage and accept this award. He's crying, right? He's crying, and he's talking about, he apologizes to the Academy, and he starts talking about, now he looks like the crazy people depicted. He won for his role as Richard, Serena and Venus's father, King Richard, in that movie. And Richard was always depicted as this crazy, crazy guy. And Will Smith made mention of that. Now he looks like, the crazy guy. Anyway, he starts talking about love and how he's a vessel for love, right? And I could not help but be curious about that, because you just got up and slapped a man in the face. However, I'm not here to judge, right? I don't know the dynamics. I don't know all that happened. I don't know. I just know what I saw on the television. But I've been sitting with that, right? I've been sitting with that. And I was like, okay, what is the message here for me? Because we need each other to learn from. We need each other to learn from. So what is the message here for me, right? I say that I am a vessel of joy, right? Will Smith says he was a vessel. He's a vessel for love. In that moment, and in my life, there are moments where I am incongruent with that quality of joy, where I choose something that's not joy in my responses, in my interactions with people. Now, let me say, I'm not condoning anything that happened. I'm not condoning any of it. I see you, Tim, saying Will Smith was wrong. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of choices that could have been made, right? However, the invitation that I am extending is this: to take it deeper, and apply it to ourselves, right? So we all have our qualities that we are embracing, right? Are you congruent with that quality? Do you take a moment before you react and just pause, take a breath, go within, ask the question, what would joy do here? What would abundance do here? What would compassion do here? Right? Before we react. That's my takeaway. There's so much talk about this, and it's going to go on for days and days and days and days, right? But what would your quality do? What would your quality do? So my quality is wholeness and trust. That's what I'm embracing for 2022. So what would wholeness do when I find myself in situations where I am highly triggered, where I might want to get up and smack somebody, right? What would wholeness do? What would trust do, right? So that's how I'm using what happened. That situation is a very public situation, right? But we can use everything as a lesson for ourselves if we choose to. And when it all comes down to it, it's all about choice. It's all about making a conscious choice. Am I choosing? Am I making a conscious choice from the truth of who I am? Yes or no? Right? So that's what I got. That's what I got. So I would just encourage us not to get caught up in all the negative energy, because it's a very low vibration, y'all. Don't get sucked in. Don't get sucked in, right? Don't get sucked in. Check yourself. Check yourself. Am I congruent? Am I a vessel of my quality with the people in my life, with the people who I live with the people who just come into my atmosphere for a moment? How am I showing up? Because we have a choice. No matter what the other person has done or said, y'all, it's the truth. We have a choice. The only thing we have control over is our response. That is it. No one makes us do anything. No one makes us do anything. So let's take responsibility and let's live in the truth of who we are and practice our quality, because it's all practice. It's all practice. Yes, yes, yes. So that's my Monday musing. There you go. TM healed me, and checking in on myself on being congruent about my quality of joy overall, wholeness, and trust specifically for 2022. All right. All right, y'all. So let's get into some joy news. All righty. So some other things happened over the weekend. On Sunday, we had a wonderful Living Life in Joy show. We wrapped up our celebration of Women's History Month. Yes, we did. And it was a quick show, and it was to just highlight through Maya Angelou's poem, Phenomenal Woman, the phenomenalness of women, right? And so I shared her poem. There was a clip of her doing the poem Unplugged. So she was like really into it, giving it all of who she is, and to just honor and recognize and acknowledge Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, because she did the thing. She did the thing. Yes, she did. She's amazing. And so we had a great show. So if you missed it, please check out the replay. And then we had a wonderful service at Rockland CSL. My husband's over there giving me a little shimmy. All right. We had a wonderful service. The topic was feng shui and forgiveness, and it was fabulous. So if you missed the sermon, you can go to our YouTube channel, Rockland CSL's YouTube channel, and you could check out my sermon. And I think the takeaway that I want to share with you all, and it's relevant to what I'm talking about today, is forgiveness, right? Forgiveness is unforgiveness. Unforgiveness is a form of clutter. It's a form of clutter, right? So check out the full sermon. And then we're in April next week, so we have a whole new theme for April, and I'll talk more about that during the week. All right, let's see. April 6th. April 6th is my second anniversary of SIP. I'm excited. April 6th is Yes Day. April 6th is Yes Day. So we're saying yes to everything on April 6th. Please join me in that. As long as it doesn't cause harm to you or to others, we are saying yes. So we're celebrating. Thank you. We're celebrating that whole week. And if you have any ideas about the celebration, please DM me and let me know. All right. April 23rd is Gladys Williams' trunk show. I'm wearing some of Gladys's jewelry. right here. Beautiful earrings, a matching necklace, one of a kind, y'all, one of a kind. So please check out Gladys. You want to get a preview, you could go to her website, asantisjewels.com, and you can see some of her beautiful creations there. But we are going to highlight it in the Trunk Show, April 23rd, 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Zoom. Okay, so stay tuned for that. And then May 22nd, I'm the keynote speaker at a women's empowerment brunch called Control Alt Delete. And the Poconos in Pennsylvania, it's $35. It's in person and it's not live streamed. Okay? All right, y'all. All right. All right. So that's all the joy news. Let me check in with Sekou, see how he's doing.
Hey.
Hey. How you doing?
Great show. Lots of comments about it. So we'll just do a couple of things. So shout out to Gladys. You just shouted her out for the upcoming Trump show. She loves how your pieces outfit. You know, Rev Mel got to be coordinated. You know, come on now. So that was not an accident. And also, let's see. I wanted to highlight this one from Simone. Denzel said, in your highest moments of your life, the devil comes for you. And this is when you were talking about what happened during the Oscars.
Yes, yes. And so Will Smith said that in his speech, that Denzel said that to him.
Oh, really?
That, yeah. I don't know if it happened before or after the incident, but yeah, he shared that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and could I just say something about that?
Go ahead. It's your show.
So the devil, let's just be clear, right? The devil is our error in thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Sin is an error in thinking. Mm-hmm. Okay? So I was raised Pentecostal, y'all. I thought there was a real devil, you know, red horn, the whole to-do, right? Okay. It's an error in thinking. Mm-hmm. It's separation. Mm-hmm. All right? So I agree with Denzel's statement, right? In your highest moment, don't lose sight that it could also be a moment of separation. Mm-hmm. It could also be a moment of an error in your thinking.
Yeah.
Right? We have to stay present. Okay.
Yeah, and there's so many things that I want to say. I don't have enough time to say them all, but I've been a fan of Will Smith for a while. I got kind of hazed about it in grad school because my grad school is very, erudite and scholarly, and I'm like, Will Smith. But he's been on a path. He's been on a journey. And recently, he's been working with Jay Shetty a lot. Like, Jay Shetty's become like a personal coach to him. And I've had this quote from Will Smith saved, and it's about you have to be at war with your mind. It's Will Smith talking, but you have to be at war with your mind, and you have to be ready to do battle with your mind at all times. It's not about being in battle with the world around you. It's about being in battle with your mind. So I know he and Jay Shetty are about to have a real session, because this is this kind of stuff that Will Smith talks about, making the right choice and reacting well. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I had no idea what happened. I watched the very first award, but I could hear my mom downstairs making noises during the Oscars, and I was like, "That's a lot of reaction. I wonder what's going on." And then now I know. I'm like, "Oh yeah, that would get a reaction." And then the last thing I want to say before we close out is you and I are in sync again. On my show, I talked about your sermon from yesterday, this morning. And I talked about what you said, that forgiveness is not condoning. And I talked about that quite a bit. So definitely, if you missed Rev Mel's sermon from Sunday, you definitely want to check it out. And check out my show, too, where I'm talking about my takeaway from her sermon from Sunday. So.
Yes. Thank you, Sekou. Thank you. Yeah, I see your comments, everybody. Yeah, Simone is giving an amen about what the devil means, right? And I'm sure that's what Denzel means by it too. Yeah, Lindsay, self-sabotage is the self-sabotaging your success is what can happen. I believe that's what that means. Yeah, yeah, all of that, all of that. And we are in control of ourselves. And and there's been a lot of, and I know I'm a little over, but I just want to just wrap this up with, because everyone's very focused on Will Smith, but no one's talking, at least I haven't heard, and I'm not really tuning in to hear it, about Chris Rock. And he stood there and he stayed present. He stayed present. I don't know what Chris's qualities are. I don't know what he's a vessel of, right? Will said he's a vessel of love. That's what his vessel of is. I don't know what Chris Rock's vessel is, but he kept it moving. He didn't hit him back. Um he yeah. So, just shout out to Chris. He did. He certainly did. He held it together. Yes, he did. And so it's gonna be interesting because he's going on tour. Him and Kevin Hart got a tour going on soon. So it's gonna be interesting to see if any of this gets, weaved into what he talks about. But anyway, I hope that this was a useful current events conversation, because I don't usually dive deep into all the hoopla that's going on, but I felt that it was relevant to who we are showing up as in the world. All right, all right. So peace and blessings, peace and justice. We're living life in joy, connected to our yes.